No, wait, no. And I'm just going to say all of my experience to you all, what I have been learning, what I have been doing with this whole thing. So today I have learned about the Python, really interesting thing. I have learned about the Python variables. I have learned about the indentation error, syntax error, what is the role of the variables in Python, how we can name it, and moreover, the most important thing that I learned today is about the string concatenation. And the concatenation in the Python works only with the string, but not with any other data types. You people might not know about the string concatenation and all of those things, so I will be telling you very, very clearly. So you don't need to worry about that. Hey guys, and welcome to the day one of learning Python. And today I'll be sharing you my experience and what I have learned in the day one of my learning journey. So in the day one, it was not much advanced, but it was quite interesting. I learned about the Python variables, how we can use variables, how variables are used in Python, and about the syntax error, indentation error. And the most interesting thing that I learned today is about the string concatenation. Do not worry, I will be sharing my experience with you all. So I'm going to create one project. The project name is going to be a band name generator. So basically, what I'm going to do is create a greeting for our program, ask the user for the city as they are gooooo and store it in a variable, ask for the pet name. And what we are going to do is that combining their city name and their pet name, we are going to ask to the user. Okay. So it's pretty basic thing. So I want you to learn with me. So I'm going to make one project, and within that project, I'm going to cover all of the interesting things. So the first thing is that what it told us to print a greeting for our program. So it's pretty basic. We are just going to use the print function for it. And once we use the print function, a greeting can be anything. Welcome to our journey. Or since we're creating a brand name, the brand name generator program will come to our generated project. I'm just gonna write this. I'm sorry, there seems to be a spelling error. Okay, fine. And once we do this, we're just gonna cancel it. And what we're going to do next is really pretty interesting. Ask the user for this for the city that they grew up in. So basically, what we are going to do is ask or take the input from the user. So in order to take the input from the user, we need to create one variable. So the variable that I'm going to create is going to be city equal to, and if you want to take input from a user, you need to use the input function. And here I use the input function. So I'm going to ask the user enter your city name. City name. I just ask the user to enter their city name, and the user will enter their city name. And the second thing that I'm going to do is ask the user about the pet. The second variable that I'm going to create is going to be a pet, and I'm again going to use the input function in order to take the input from the user with this and enter your pet name. I'm going to ask the user to enter their pet name. And here I just did it. So the third thing that we are asked to do is that we need to combine the name of the city and the pet so that their new name is going to be combinedly open. So for that, we need to use the concept of string concatenation. String concatenation basically means that you are going to combine the two strings. And since here in our project, we are using the strings in terms of variable. So here we are going to combine the variables. So how we are going to do it? The first thing that you're going to need is the print function. And once you have the print function, obviously you need to use the double quotation. Then your new name or your band name. Okay, your new Band name will be, then we are going to come out of this double quote, give a space and give a plus sign. This plus sign is the signal that we are going to use the string concatenation. So after that, we are just going to give one space or empty single quote, because this empty single quote will give space. This will act as a space. However, if we, okay, this will act as a space. Let's not go into the very deep, but on a surface level, then again, I'm going to use the plus sign and I'm going to use the city. Obviously, we are going to combine the strings right now. And I'm again going to use the concatenation sign. And the next thing that I'm going to use is the pet. So project is complete. So easy. So here we go, run it. And here's our terminal. It printed welcome to our generated project. This line, this line is printed. And the second line is also printed. Enter your city name. Okay. My city name is going to be Gairakot because I'm from Gairakot, Nepal. And when I click the enter, it will ask enter pet name. And my pet name, actually, I don't have any pet, so I'm just gonna go with dog. Actually, I'm scared of dog. And here, your new band name will be Goindakor Dog. So this is how we created a band name generator project using the concept of variables, using the concept of string concatenation, and using the concept of printing. So that's all for day one. I'll be seeing you in the day two. Till that time, keep learning Python. And of course, do not forget to follow and like this video too. I'm in love with law. His name is Law. Solus Vortex is our channel name, right? So I'm just gonna go over there. That's where your Solus. Oh my god, what's fucked up, bro? Solus Vortex. VOTE. Yeah, Solus Vortex. This is our channel name. This is supposed to be our channel name, bro. Isn't it? Okay, I'm just gonna switch my account. Yes, okay. Yes, SOLOUSVORTE, yeah, Solus Vortex. And this is us. Here we are. Account. Yes, okay. And a variable asks for the pet name. And what we are going to do is that combining their city name and their pet name, we are going to ask to the user. Okay. So it's pretty basic thing. So I want you to learn with me. So I'm going to make one project, and within that project, I'm going to cover all of the interesting things. So the first thing is that what it told us to print a greeting for our program. So it's pretty basic. We are just going to use the print function for it. And once we use the print function, a greeting can be anything. Welcome to our journey. Or since we're creating a brand name, the brand name generator program will come to our generated project. I'm just gonna write this. I'm sorry, there seems to be a spelling error. Okay, fine. And once we do this, we're just gonna cancel it. And what we're going to do next is really pretty interesting. Ask the user for this for the city that they grew up in. So basically, what we are going to do is ask or take the input from the user. So in order to take the input from the user, we need to create one variable. So the variable that I'm going to create is going to be city equal to, and if you want to take input from a user, you need to use the input function. And here I use the input function. So I'm going to ask the user, enter your city name. I just ask the user to enter their city name, and the user will enter their city name. And the second thing that I'm going to do is ask the user about the pet. The second variable that I'm going to create is going to be a pet. And I'm again going to use the input function in order to take the input from the user with this and enter your pet name. I'm going to ask the user to enter their pet name. And here I just did it. So the third thing that we are asked to do is that we need to combine the name of the city and the pet. so that their new name is going to be combinedly opened. So for that, we need to use the concept of string concatenation. String concatenation basically means that you are going to combine the two strings. And since here in our project, we are using the strings in terms of variable. So here we are going to combine the variables. So how we are going to do it? The first thing that you're going to need is the print function. And once you have the print function, obviously, you need to use the double quotation. Then your new name or your band name, okay, your new. Hey guys, and welcome to the day two. And in the day two, we are going to learn about the data types. Data types, how many data types are there? There are four types of data types in Python. The first one is the string. Let's talk what is a string. A string is always represented in double quote and it can be anything. A simple plain language in English. What is your name? This is a string. And if I write Himachal over here, my name is Himachal, then this is also a string. So this is all about a string. The another data type is integer. Integer can be anything. 23 is an integer. 45 is an integer. 78, 76 is an integer. So any number is an integer. And the another data type is float. Azure. La. Stay tuned for our day two project. Welcome to the day two of learning Python of my journey. If you haven't watched the day one, then everything that I'm going to tell you in the day two, it might be a little confusing. However, it will be good enough. Welcome to the day two of learning Python. And if you haven't watched the day one, you have missed pretty much quite basic things. But I will recommend you to go and watch the day one also. So in the day two, we are going to learn a lot of interesting things. We are going to learn about the data types and how we can convert the data types. So let's start. In Python, there are four types of data types. The first one is string. So let's discuss what is string. The string is always indicated or written using a double quote. So if I write what is your name, this is the string. The plain language in string, the plain language in English, which is written inside the double quote is a string. Obviously, if I write my name is Solus Vortex or Corex, or if I write TikTok, these all are strings. Welcome to the day two of learning Python. And if you haven't watched the day one, then you might have missed pretty much quite interesting thing. So I would like to recommend you to go and watch the day one of our journey because you will learn a lot of interesting thing. However, they are basic, but they are also quite interesting. In day two, we are also going to have some fun in Python. We are going to learn about the data types and how we can convert the data types. And in day two, we are going to also make one project which is going to be a tip calculator project. Let's start. In Python, there are four types of data types. The first one is string. The string is always written in the double quote. And if I write, what is your name? This is a string. Any simple plain language written in English language is a string. Okay? It can be a TikTok. My name as Solus Vortex, a codex. If I write codex, yes, this is also a string. Anything that is written into a double quote or a single quote is a string. You need to always understand that. The another one is the integer. Integer can be anything which is number. 34 is an integer, and you don't need to write integer into double quotes or a single quote. You can write it as easily. You can make a variable name INTER integer. You can name variable anything, and if you write 34, then you have assigned the number 34 to the variable enter. So any number is an integer. And there is another data type known as float. Float means any number which have the decimal beside it. 56.67. This is a float. 56.00. This is a float data type. 56.98. This is a float data type. Any language or any number which have a point decimal sign, it's a float. The another data type is going to be a boolean. Booleans simply have two types, true and false. So how you are going to write the boolean? If you are going to write boolean in the Python, then the first letter of the true is always going to be capital TRUE, true. This is boolean. And if we assign this true to one variable, let me just show you it in a bool, then right now it is taking it. Okay, there is quite an error. Let me just take. I'm also learning. So yeah. So now it is good because right now we have assigned a boolean true to one variable named bo. But what will happen if we don't write the first letter of boolean in capital? What if we write this t in small? This is going to create a problem, guys. Here you can see an error. So if you are going to use a boolean, the first letter is going to be a capital. Same will go with the false. If you are going to write false, the first letter F is going to be capital and the rest following with the small. So this is for today's video. In the next video of day 2, I will be showing you how you can convert the data types. The conversion of data type. You can convert the strings into an integer, integer into a string, float into an integer, integer into a float, and vice versa with boolean. So keep following and like this video. Welcome to the day 2. In the previous day 2 exercise, we learned about the data types. There were 4 types of data types: strings, integer, floats, and boolean. And if you haven't watched that video, then this video will be quite difficult for you. So in this today's video, we are going to learn how we can convert the data types. So let's get started. The first thing is I'm going to show you with the example. I'm just going to create one variable. Okay, we just got a problem over here. I'm just going to create one variable named strin. Yeah, okay, str. And I'm going to give this equal to, and I'm going to write something equal to HLLO. Okay, I just want to write str because this will give an indentation error. In the upcoming video, we are going to learn about it. What is it? But for now, let's just give this name a good name. I'm going to write Sita as variable. Okay. And once I write Sita as variable, and when I have written this hello, this variable is string. How you can know that? You can know this by using a print type. Here, if you want to know what is this data type, then you just need to type print. Then you need to give this. Then you need to write the type function. And in the type function, you need to give another bracket and you need to write the variable name. And that's it's all done. Now it will show what is its data type. So here you can see class str. So this hello is a string. But can we convert this into an integer? Of course we can. But there is one catch. Have you ever imagined a string like HELLO as integer? Can it ever be a number? No, it's universally not possible. So what I'm telling you right off as now is this: we can't convert this alphabetical string into an integer, but we can convert the numbered string into an integer. Okay, you might be confused. So let me say in this theta variable, instead of hello, if I write 1, 2, 3, in your case, you might think it is a integer. So just run it now. It is an integer. If I click run, then it's going to show no, it is the string because we have used the double quotation over here. If we have not used the double quotation, and we have just write the 1, 2, 3, then it might have told us it is an integer. But since we were using the double quotation, it will tell it is a string. So how we can convert this string into an integer? Because in the upcoming lessons or in the real life project, you need to take the data type as a string, but you need to process it as an integer. It's a real useful thing in the common life. The first thing that we need to do is use the int, and we're just gonna give the comma over here, and you just need to give another bracket over here, and it's all done. And now when we run the run button, it will tell this is integer. So if you are writing something in a double string which was supposed to be a string, but if you convert that using a int function, then it will be converted into a integer. So I'm going to do one thing. What I'm going to do is not use this thing. I'm going to use the input function over here. And once I use the input function, then I'm going to ask the user enter your age. Since I'm asking the user to enter his or her age, so what's gonna be your age? If I ask you to enter your age, then you are just going to write 1, 2, right? I'm gonna do this. Enter your age. I'm gonna write 1 to 12. It is supposed to give the integer value, right? But no, it will give this string because every time you use the input function to take an input from the user, it will take that input as a string, not as an integer. But you need the input as an integer to process it further. So what you are going to do now? You are going to use the int function. Once you use the int function over here, you're going to use the under bracket over here, and now your thing is completed. Now I'm going to write the 12, it is my age, and it is going to be printing that your input is taken as an integer. This basic concept, which seems to be very basic, is really useful in our virtual life while we are a Python developer. So I'll be seeing you in the next video. Till that time, keep learning Python, and in the next video I'm going to create one project which is going to be a tip calculator project. Till that time, see you and bye bye. Hey guys, a short video of the day 2. In the previous day 2, I told that after that I will be creating one project. But this video is going to be quite special for you. Because in this today's video, I'm going to tell you about the EF strings, which is going to be really useful in your daily life. In our first video, I have taught you about the string concatenation, didn't I? If you haven't watched day one and day two, and the day two part one and part two, then this video will be quite difficult for you. So let's get started. In the first video, I showed that we can use the string concatenation. So if I say VIRAVL, okay, I'm gonna use the name Hari as a variable, and I'm going to ask his name what I'm gonna ask him to take an input, input input, enter your age. I'm asked him to enter his age, right? And here down, I'm gonna ask the theta equal to, I'm gonna make a variable with the input function over here. Listen, this is very important. You need to listen it, bro. F strings, it's hard as awesome. And I'm gonna ask Sita, I can't ask a girl about their age, so I'm gonna ask her enter your salary. Yes, Salary. Okay, ERY. Salary. So now in the first video, what I had did is I used the print function, didn't I? To combine the two variables. So can we also do that over here? No, I don't think we can. Can we? No. Or can we? Okay, let's just try it out. Your is each. I'm gonna use the plus sign over here, and I'm gonna use Hari. I'm gonna use the another plus sign over here, and I'm gonna use theta. So will it work or not? I'm gonna take it. Enter your age. I'm gonna enter my age 22 and enter my age my salary 45. Did it work? Did it work? Did it work or not? Yes, it worked, guys. You might have think it have not worked, but it worked. Your age is 22 and 45. But this is a simple program. This is a simple program that we are doing. What, as I have already told you in the day 2, part 2, that whenever we use the input function, it will take the input as a string. But as of this moment, while we are doing the large scale projects, we don't want to take the input which is supposed to be an integer into a string. We want this input as an integer, don't we? So for that, in order to take the input as an integer, not as a string, as per the demand of the escalation, we are going to use the int function. I just use the int function over here. I'm gonna use the another int function, a bracket over here. Now you can see I can already see a allo mark error over here. I'm gonna tell you what is this error about. It is all about the f string. I'm trying to make you understand the concept of f string first of all. So when I do this, here something has fuckingly happened, guys. It will show one error, and that error is typo in odd entry, typo in odd entry. Unexpected types, int positive types, literal single, blah blah blah. In simple words, it is telling that you can't use a string concatenation with integer. Here, this thing double quotes, so of course it is a string, but since we converted this string in an integer, we can't use this variable as Hari as an string concatenation. So in basic and short term, you can't use string concatenation if you are supposed to take your input as an integer. So what we are going to do now? I want to print your age is blah and your salary is blah. At this time, we are going to use our one and only trump card f string. So what I'm going to do is just do nothing. I'm just going to cancel this plus 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 blah. We don't need it, bro. We don't need the string. We're just going to type yof in front of this one double quote, and here our yof string is completed. Your is each, and I'm going to make this curly bracket. I'm going to write this Hari inside it, and I'm going to write a and your salary each, again a double quote over here, and I'm going to write theta. So does it take? Yes. By using the f string, you can combine the strings and integers and float. The f string is basically the thing in Python that helps you to combine the different kind of data types. You can use this string concatenation with one strings, but with the help of the F string, you can combine any kind of data type. That can be a boolean, that can be an integer, float, string, anything. So I'm going to run the hit button. Just see the magic of the F string. My age is 12, and since my salary is going to be 67, here it said that your age is 12 and your salary is 67. The magic of F strings. In the next video, we'll be surely going with the tip calculator project. So stay tuned, like this video, comment down what you have learned, and please, if you haven't seen the previous video, you need to go and watch it. Till that time, bye bye, and keep learning Python. Hey guys, and welcome to the final day two, final project in the day two of our journey. And in this today's video, we are going to create a tip calculator project where we are going to first take an input from the user to know how many persons are there, how much is the total bill, how much tip do you want to give, and we are going to do some calculations over there and going to print that each person should have to play this. So I hope you understand it. So if you haven't understand, then I'm gonna make you understand. The first thing is that we are going to print the greeting function, then welcome to our calculator. It is actually a tip calculator. So I'm going to write tip calculator. The first thing that we are going to do is take an input from the user. I'm going to make a person as a variable, and I'm going to take an input from the user. Input. What we are going to do is take an input from the user. How many people are there? How many people are there? THARE there. So user will write their input. How many people are there? 1, 2, 3. And since we know that user is going to give their answer into an integer, and we all know that if you haven't watched the day one, day two, bro, you are gonna miss a lot of things. Input function always take their input into a string, so we need to convert this into an integer. So we are gonna use the int function over here and wrap it with the brackets, and it's completed. Now the string which was going to be taken as a string, it will be converted into an integer, which is going to be really important for us. And now we are going to ask the user about the bill. How much is the total bill? So we are again going to use the integer function, again with the bracket, use the input function, again with the bracket, and ask the user how much is the total bill. Fine. And since if we are going to ask someone how much the total bill, then they are obviously not going to write 100,000, 500. They are going to write 1,500 in an integer. So we need to take one thing in mind, what we are asking the user and what user will give as an input. Obviously, they are going to give their answer into an integer. And the third thing that we are going to ask is about the tip. How much tip do we want to give? And obviously, tip is also going to be an integer, isn't it? So integer function to convert, input function to take an input. How much tip do you want to give? Do you want to GI we give, isn't it, guys? Now, the main part comes over here. Before that, I want to write one thing. What we are going to print is each. We are obviously going to use the F string, but before that, I'm going to tell you we are going to calculate how much each person have to give the bill. So we have to do the mathematical operations over here. Plus, minus, or division. What we are going to do? Obviously, we are going to take out the average. I'm not good at mathematics, but I think this is the correct formula. I'm going to use the one variable, which is going to be named as AVE or as the average equal to. Now, what we are going to do is we are going to add the bill plus. We are not using this plus as concatenation over here. We are using this plus as a mathematical operator. 2 plus 1, 3. 3 plus 1, 4. Just like that. Bill plus TIP tip divided by person. person. And one thing you need to understand while you are doing this, how the Python compiler will do the mathematical operation. We all know about the PEDMAS. The first thing that Python execute is the parenthesis. The second is exponent. The third is division. Then it is multiplication. Then addition. Then subtraction. So here we are going to do something over here. We are going to write with this into the parenthesis because we want this bill and tip to be calculated first, and once we get the total sum, then it will be divided by the total number of person that they are going to pay the bill. I hope you are understanding it. We are using the formula PEDMAS, parenthesis, exponent, division, multiplication, addition, and subtraction. So if we just doesn't use this parenthesis, that what will happen is that the first this tip and portion will be divided, and then only it is going to be plus with the bill, which we doesn't want. It might happen good in this small scale of project, but we are a professional developer, so we are going to use the parenthesis over here. We are going to use a good parenthesis over here with a two parenthesis, so that the bill plus tip is the first operation that is going to be executed by the Python compiler, and after that it is going to be divided with the total number of person over there. And in the print function, what we are going to do is using the F string. Why you are using the F string? Because there are different type of data types. Because we are going to write something in string and we are going to do something. So what we are going to do is each person will have to pay. This is an obviously a string. Then we are going to use a curly bracket and we are going to write another variable named average. So what is basically happening in this project is the first the I'm gonna run it and I'm gonna tell you. The first thing that happens over here is this first line is executed. This okay. Print we welcome to our calculator is executed and we are asked something. The user is asked to input how many people are there. This is executed. And what we are going to do is table. And because of that, we have used the integer because we are giving the input as an integer. 1 to 12 is an integer. So that's why I was telling to you to go and check out the previous session so that you won't be confused. And once I write 12, then this another line is going to be executed. Bill. How much is the total bill? Let's say there are 12 people and there is 1200 bill that has been total. And it will ask how much tip do you want to give? And let's say I want to give a tip of $12 and I'm going to do this. And it will tell each person will have to pay 101, which is basically a correct thing. And after you need to notice something. After I give the tip, the first thing it happens is that this point, this line number 5 average is being calculated. The first bill plus tip is being calculated, which is going to be 12 plus 1200 is going to be calculated. Not, which is bill is 1200 and tip is 12. So first 1200 and 12 is going to be calculated. This tip of 12 is going to be calculated, and after we get the total sum, it is going to be divided by the person, which is going to be a 12, and the answer that we get is stored in this variable named average, and it is going to be executed over here in this line. Your each person will have to pay, and in term and in the thing of average, we got the value of which was calculated over here, because the value which was calculated over here is stored in this variable, so we use this variable over here. So this is the day 2 project. We learned a lot of things about the data types, how we can convert the data types, how to we can do the mathematical operations, about the page mass, and also about the f strings, which was really awesome. That's all for day 2. I'll be seeing you in the day 3. Till that time, keep learning Python. Then the name will city name. City name. I just ask the user, do you want to GI we give, isn't it, guys? Now the main part comes over here. Before that, I want to write one thing. What we are going to print is each. We are obviously going to use the just string, but before that, I'm going to tell you we are going to calculate how much each person have to give the bill. So we have to do the mathematical operations over here. Plus, minus, or division. What we are going to do? Obviously, we are going to take out the average. I'm not good at mathematics, but I think this is the correct formula. I'm going to use the one variable, which is going to be named as AVE, or a V average, equal to. Now, what we are going to do is we are going to add the bill plus. We are not using this plus as concatenation over here. We are using this plus as a mathematical operator. 2 plus 1, 3. 3 plus 1, 4. Just like that. Bill plus TIP tip divided by person. And that's all for today.